Well, we're with Laura Muir, named jointly 4J Studios Performer of the Year in our awards ceremony on YouTube. And we had a check, Laura, just looking back at the sort of files over the years, and I think you've won this title outright on 3 occasions, 2018, 2016 and 2015, by my reckoning. How did it feel to share it this time with Gemma Reekie and with Jake Whiteman?
It was really nice. Yeah, it was, yeah, to be honest, like watching the awards, which I thought you did a great job of, by the way. I honestly couldn't call it. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. Like sometimes you get a feeling of, yeah, no, that person's probably going to get it. But honestly, I'd like no idea. I wasn't really expecting that to actually get it. I thought it between the two of them, and I had no idea how you guys were going to call it. But yeah, when it was announced between the three of us, I was like, oh, that's really nice, because I just feel like the three of us performed so well, but in different ways as well. And whether that be the 800, the 1500, both events. So it was yeah, very, very nice to share it with the two of them, and after they've worked so hard this year too.
Well, when we were chatting with Stephen McGuire, our Director of Performance and Coaching, the other day about the three of you, and he was saying that he felt you had been running this year without a worry in the world, I think was Stephen's phrase. Is that true?
I guess in some senses, yes, some senses, no. I guess in a sense that there was no major championships. It meant there wasn't sort of any pressure that you didn't have to be in a particular form at any particular time. You could just go out there and run and experiment with a few races and try different things. But at the same time, there was an awful lot going on, you know, in the rest of the world. And there was a lot of stressful events in relation to that. So yeah, in some senses it was not stressful, and in other senses it was really stressful. So whether that balances itself out, I don't know. But yeah, it was nice to be able to run and just kind of run without any expectation or pressure to perform at a certain level, because everybody was in such a difficult situation. And yeah, to kind of do the performances that I did, I was really happy with.
Well, I guess although that it was, you know, there was that no championship aspect by the time you started running. If we sort of rewind a little bit to sort of April, May, and I think probably into June, you did have that sort of pretty awful uncertainty about the Olympics. And I guess that your life particularly is dictated to by the Olympics, a lot of aspects of your life. So how tough was that to try and deal with that in a sense?
It was hard, yeah, because I'd sort of, in a sense, put the whole of 2020 on hold just to revolve my whole life around the Olympics. You know, I didn't really have any other plans other than the Olympics, and that was it. So when that went, it was like, oh, like now what? And then we had the European Championships, and then that was outright cancelled, not even postponed, and from quite an early point as well. So yeah, it was a bit. It was gutting, because, you know, Olympics only comes around every 4 years, and it was something that I was really, really looking to perform at. But yeah, you know, at the same time, when things were kind of evolving in March time, I could see it didn't come as a surprise to me, you know, that it was postponed, and I'm just glad it was postponed and not cancelled, because just the way things were evolving, it just wasn't gonna happen, and that call needed to be made. So, you know, luckily it was made early, and it given us time and everybody else time to prepare for next year. So yeah, really thankful for that, and hopefully it'll go ahead next year. So yeah.
Well, let's talk briefly about the performances that you did manage, and they were very, very impressive, Laura. I mean, the 1500, the three performances there, 2 at 3:57 and 1 at 3:58. How much sort of added confidence has that given you, for, you know, that you've got that in the bank from what is a pretty much an interrupted year in so many ways?
Yeah, it was a really big confidence booster, I think, ahead of next year, because my last year in 2019 was so disrupted with injury. You know, I missed a lot of racing. I didn't get really any sort of consistency in training or racing at all. So to come out this season and run, you know, 3 1500s, and all of them be sub 4, and all of them be really strong, and all of them be a win, I was like, right, okay, this is good for next year. It's just nice to kind of get into that groove a little bit, kind of get into that rhythm of running sort of that fast at that pace, and trying out a few different things. And yeah, I think it's helped my confidence a lot going into next year, because I think I lost quite a bit of my confidence, I think, last year with injury and stuff. And even though I kind of performed well in Doha and clawed it back a bit, it was hard. So yeah, it's done me a lot of good, I think, being able to race this year and race well.
Well, I think probably the reflection would be that you overperformed in Doha for where you were at the time, and for what you'd had in the bank going into that one. Just So what's the plan now? I hesitate to use the word plan again, but the plan now, cross country and indoor, things that you've sort of done a bit of in the winter normally, probably a bit of a state of flux around them as well. I guess it just comes down to that flexibility again, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very difficult to kind of put any plan in place. So, I've started back training now for the winter. So always hope to get a big, strong training block, and whether that's here, whether that's, somewhere abroad. We usually do go on a couple of training camps over the winter, but when and where and how they're going to happen, it's all a little bit up in the air. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get a really good solid training in. I think when me and Gemma showed that even though we were here during the summer and had limited availability to stuff, we were still able to train really, really well and come out and perform well. So I think that gives us both and Andy a lot of confidence to know that, if we are stuck in one place and we are limited, we can still perform very well in the circuit. So that's good in one sense, but it's coming into winter, and the challenging conditions will be hard. So hopefully we can have something in place over the winter so that come next year we'll be in a good place to perform.
Well, finally, just a word about Andy, the named Performance Coach of the Year in our 4J Awards recently. Once again, credit to Andy for a terrific period of coaching and what he's done with you. He's a man who likes a plan. This year, I think probably harder than ever for someone like that to try and keep adjusting and adapting and revising the schedule for you. Can you credit with him for that?
Yeah, he's done a phenomenal job. I mean, yeah, he liked his spreadsheet, and his spreadsheet kind of went out the window multiple times. So I think it was really, really hard for him. And I think it's hard as well because we were asking him like, oh, are we doing this, we're doing that? And he's like, I don't know. And I think it finds it really difficult when you can't give us the answers, but you can't because you don't know what's happening. So he did so well, just to constantly adjust our training and to find these races and to get our travel sorted, and that with our agent Stefan as well. He did a great job there too. So yeah, it was so challenging for him, and yeah, he does love a plan. So I can't imagine how difficult it must be for him to make a plan and for constantly readjusted or just nothing happened at all. And I know the Olympics for him was a really big focus as well. So yeah, we've had to adapt a lot, and he has too. But I think it's huge credit to him that not only have been able to train and race, but really well under the two of us too. So and with others in our group. So yeah, very, very big thank you to him. Yeah.
Congratulations, Lauren. Well done on your own 4J Studios Performer of the Year joint title.
Thank you.